If you haven't been hiding under a rock, you know what LLMs are, large language models. But do you know what an LPM is? Let's get into it. This morning, my brother sent me a 330-page presentation on AI from this venture capital firm. I'll put a link below in the description for this AI presentation. And I went through the entire thing this morning. Okay, not in detail, but I did skim and peruse this entire document because I was interested. You guys know that on my channel, I'm all about AI. All right, I want to know as much as I can about it within reason, within the time frame I can, because I'm always doing these recordings, right? And I'm invested in it. I'm invested in AI. I've got AMD, I've got NVIDIA, and I've got some Tesla. And, you know, I've got a little bit of Microsoft too in a mutual fund. And so what I want to do in this video is provide you guys with just information, period. Information is key in the digital age that we are in. And so that's what it is. You know, this is not a video to get political or to get hyped up about whatever, okay? It's important that you get the real information, okay, from people who are spending the time on these type of companies, okay? So, out of this 330-page presentation, I was looking specifically for Tesla. You guys know I'm a Tesla investor, highly invested in Tesla, okay? A majority of my portfolio is invested in it. So I was curious, how much information are they disclosing on Tesla or predicting on Tesla? And all I saw out of 330 slides was 2 specific little sections, not even full slides on Tesla. I think they had one slide talking about the FSD cars and autonomy, and then they had one slide, I think, on the robots. It wasn't even a slide, it was just a section, okay, comparing Tesla to the other competitors like Waymo and the Chinese, okay? And I thought that was funny. I thought it was funny because I believe, you guys know this, that Tesla is the Trojan horse of AI. They really are. No one is talking about them except for the Tesla bulls, but everyone else, the media, the government, the venture capital firms, even other YouTubers. I just saw a YouTuber yesterday I'm subscribed to. She talked about LLMs and venture capital. Nothing in there mentioned Tesla at all. And I did put a comment in there, by the way. I said, hey, watch out for Tesla. Okay, and the reason why is because the media is going to paint a silly picture about what Tesla is. It's Elon Musk, and it's politics, and it's MAGA. It's not, guys. It's the best engineers in the world that work there. It's the second best company. You know what the first is? It's SpaceX. And you know why? Because Elon Musk is an engineer at the end of the day, and he means business. And he understands the vision and the future, and he's painting the vision and the future for his 2 companies, not for everyone else, okay? He doesn't care about what everyone else thinks at all. You can tell by his Twitter or his X count, you know, he doesn't care about everyone else's feelings about it, but he knows what they're building. And what they own, guys, is what I call, this is my own little term because it wasn't in the 330-page presentation, is what I call large photon model, okay? Large photon model is one model that Tesla owns. I'm going to go into the second one. Large photon models, guys. All right, I got my sun up there. It's behind this tree. I want to stay cool. All right, the sun puts down light onto our planet and reflects things. It reflects off this tree behind me so that you can see that the trunk is brown and the leaves are green, so that my eyeballs can see the same thing. Okay, we're taking photons into our brain, which is our model, and our brain processes through that model and makes a decision. Oh, that's a tree. Oh, I can climb that tree maybe. Or, oh, the sky is blue. It's oxygen it's reflecting off of, I think, right? It reflects off oxygen, it gives off this blue hue, and, you know, it's a pretty sky today. I'm lucky, right? So that's what our eyeballs are doing. And guess what? Tesla owns the exact same technology that our eyeballs have. There's 8 cameras. I can't remember what they record in, but they feed all 8 cameras, I think in 1080p, or maybe 4K, I can't remember the details, into a computer that has what's called an inference computer. It's basically a instruction set chip that they feed all the camera feeds in, and the model that's trained in the cloud, essentially, in these data centers, is what's on that chip. And that chip can decide, oh, that's a tree, I need to, swerve around that tree, I don't want to hit it. Or vice versa, it's a car, or it's a pedestrian, or a cat, or a computer, whatever, anything. It could be in front of the car. And so what's happening is real-time photon model processing. All right, you get that? Real-time photon model processing. I know that's kind of a tongue twister for me at the end of the day. It's a term that no one's using out there because it's not a hot topic. The hot topic is LLMs. You've used them before. You've used ChatGPT. I know that most YouTubers are using ChatGPT for their scripts, for their descriptions, for their titles, etc., etc. Now, for this video, I didn't do neither. Okay, this is all made up, all of it, because I know Tesla. I know how to talk about it. I know exactly what it is. All right, and I know that it's the most important company, let me tell you, in the world right now. It is the most important company for the world. You know why? Because this is a race. It's a race against China. Okay, China is the only other country that is going to probably ramp up its AI next to the United States. And what are they doing? They're building robots and they're building cars just like Tesla is. All right, and they are building probably this large photon model because guess what? They let Tesla in their country. Okay, and they got some ideas and they've been listening to Elon. Unlike everyone else in the United States, they don't want to listen, right? Now the bulls, like myself, we listen. We understand what is actually happening, okay? Tesla has a data center. It's called Cortex-1, I think. It's 100,000 GPUs, guys, 100,000. And guess what? They're building a second one, another Cortex with probably another 100,000 GPUs. They probably are going to have the most AI compute power in the world. And it's for these robots, guys, at the end of the day. They've already solved the car problem at the end of the day. I mean, they might have some edge cases here and there where they'll retrain the model, and they're going to continue to make the model better because they want to make driving the safest thing on the planet. They want to save lives. Everyone hates on Tesla, or at least half the country does now. I don't even know, to be honest. All right, they want to save lives from drunk drivers and texting drivers and eating drivers and makeup drivers and sleepy drivers and I don't know, distracted drivers at the end of the day. I don't know why, we wouldn't all want that for our country. My wife had one uncle get killed by a drunk driver, and then my uncle, like 2 years ago, got killed by a drunk driver. Shouldn't we be actually, hey, let's root for Tesla because they have this unique technology that no one else in the world has, that no one is even talking about. Have you heard of a large photon model? No, you haven't heard of it because no one cares, and I don't get it. And that's why it's a Trojan horse. It's a Trojan horse that's right here, and in 10 days, that horse is coming through the door. It's coming through the door of Troy. They're releasing this FSD model, this photon model, in Austin, Texas with like 10 or 12 cars. All right. And then, in probably another 2 weeks, it'll be 100 cars, okay? And then 200 cars, and then 1,000, 10,000, a million, so on and so forth. And guess what? If the lives that are saved, meaning if we see the numbers where that computer is that much better than a human, there is no reason why the regulatory agencies aren't going to almost require this technology on every manufacturer. Don't be surprised to hear that very soon, within maybe a year or two. Okay, that data is not going to take long to be calculated by the regulatory agencies. Okay, and especially, hey, guess what? Donald Trump is in charge with Elon Musk. It is what it is. I don't want to get into politics here. I want to give you guys information to what I'm seeing, and I'm trying to explain what I know about Tesla. I mean, I've been at these AI days, not been there, but I've watched them all. And even as a software engineer, it is difficult for me to process and comprehend what it is. And I'm trying to dumb it down for everyone, including myself, as to what this is, okay? It's a large photon model, and that's how you got to think of Tesla. So if you're considering investing, I can't tell you what to do. I'm not a professional. This is just my opinion. Can't tell you what to do, when to do it, how to do it. But this is what it is. Make some decisions in your life. This AI is going to ramp up exponentially, guys, not linear, exponentially, okay? to the moon, to Saturn, to the sun, where the photons are coming from, okay? Now, we've got another model I haven't even mentioned yet. It's called the large physics model, guys. The large physics model, what does that mean? Well, the Optimus robot that everyone makes fun of and thinks is silly because sometimes it's chained up in these videos. I don't know if you've seen the last two videos, but this thing is jumping around. It's having dances and all that stuff without the chain, okay? It's not falling down. That's because they're sending real-time data, physics data, gravity. The other thing that this planet has is gravity, okay? When I lean over here to the left, my brain is feeling these gravitational effects, and the information from my elbow or my hip is sending data to my brain. I have a model here. It's a natural model. It was built by, you know, whatever, nature. And my brain tells me, oh, I got to move this way so I don't fall over and break my hip. And that is what they are doing, is they are sending all this actuator data, and they probably have like I think they're called gyrometers or whatever, those things that probably are moving based on gravity that are inside the robot, and they're sending that data all to their Cortex training centers that they're building another one, by the way, right? So now that it understands gravity, now we have a large physics model to play with. And now that robot can, in real time, deal with the physics and process through its brain, which I don't know if the computer's here or if it's up here. I don't know where. I think they install it in the chest. It's got that same inference computer that the cars have and is able to process execution. Hey, move your body this way. Hey, move your head this way so you don't fall over. You know, you guys get the point. Okay, and then they have these little sensors in the fingers, you know, so that it knows that it's picking something up. Okay, so it's using physics of touch to know, hey, all right, I feel this, I feel the weight of it, send it through the AI brain in the chest and make an execution, make a decision, move your hand this way or that way, and so on and so forth. You guys get the point. And this all comes down to a race against China when it comes to labor. All right, we want to get there first, and this is why you shouldn't be dogging on Tesla. You know, if you want to dog on Elon Musk and call him a Nazi and call him whatever you want, fine. But don't dog on the company. There are thousands of Americans that design for that company, that work for that company, that feed their families with that company. The same thing goes with Target, and I've said this before with other companies. You know, like cancel culture just hurts us in the end of the day. You know, whether it's Bud Light, Target, Tesla, whatever. If you want to cancel an individual, fine. You know, I don't know what you got to do. You can talk bad about them. But dude, canceling a company like Tesla is just, it's un-American, period. This flag means something, okay? If this flag means ingenuity, it means engineering, it means prosperity and success. That's what this means. And that's why I'm passionate about Tesla. I'm not backing down from it now, man. I'm all in. I don't care. I've already disclosed everything. I'm not going to make this a Tesla channel. I just want to make this, you know, for information so that you can be successful, so you can understand what is coming. And it's going to happen quick, guys. This is exponential. It's not linear. You know, if you're an Uber driver or a Lyft driver, you can see the charts. I think they were in this presentation. I think it was called Bond Venture Capital or something like that. They showed a chart where the Waymo cars that are not even AI driven, okay, I'll get into that in a sec. The Waymo has already taken Lyft's market share in San Francisco. It's already beaten them out. So those drivers of Lyft are already losing their jobs, you know, probably in the next couple of weeks when Tesla launches their cars. So it's already happening in Uber. And when these robots come out, guys, it's going to happen everywhere when it comes to manufacturing. And to be honest, it may not be a problem for the United States because we don't have a lot of manufacturing here as much. You know, we still do, but I think for overseas, it's a bigger problem. You know, a lot of the stuff they do overseas is very repetitive work when it comes to manufacturing. Now, do we have some of that here? Yes. Is the robot here today? No. It will be here, though, within the next 6 to 18 months, guys. That's a nothing burger when it comes to timelines. You got to start preparing yourself if you're in manufacturing, if you're in Uber driving or Lyft driving or Uber Eats even. You know, that robot, they can put the robot in the car and go pick up, you know, McDonald's, get back in the car and it'll drive itself over to the destination. The robot will get out and drop it on the porch, take a picture with its eyeballs. You know, that's the thing. I don't think people are really realizing what is happening on the blue collar side. this article, this presentation, just all it talked about was LLMs and white-collar disruption and the growth trajectories of those white-collar jobs and AI jobs and AI companies, Anthropic, Claude, Google, Facebook, et cetera, et cetera. It didn't even mention this blue-collar stuff. No mention of Tesla except for 2 little sections. And that's what we need to really realize here is they're missing the boat. The media and the venture capital, they're all missing the boat. They don't realize what is coming. Now, here's something interesting too. Start positioning yourself and think about how could you take advantage of this FSD automated driver thing. There might be some avenues to do that, or this Optimus bot thing. You know, start thinking about building a fleet of these guys to go do landscaping or go do whatever it is that these bots are going to be trained to do. Go sweep houses and sweep buildings, whatever. You know, they have videos of these bots sweeping the floor. That's a simple job that can be replaced with, you know, an army of these little bots. So start thinking of that. Now, I'm going to circle back just real quick on, you know, a lot of the naysayers about Tesla. They keep talking about, oh, they're being investigated on FSD and full self-driving over, you know, 5-10 years ago. Guys, the software that was running 5 or 10 years ago is dead. It's gone. That was heuristic coded, human coded code base. They threw it all away like 2 years ago. It is not coded by humans. AI is simply the one driving it. Now, humans have coded, you know, the infrastructure of how the AI processes the information, but honestly, like, all that code that's being investigated against by NHTSA, it's old, it's dead. They might as well not even investigate it unless there's like a death involved where, you know, they have to investigate it for, you know, the parties that be or whatever. You know, maybe Tesla gets sued, lose a couple $1 million, so on and so forth. That code's dead, guys. It's all AI now and no one's talking about it. It's the Trojan horse, honestly. So hopefully this information helps. I'm sure I'll get like some good negative comments on this. You know, this is not a political take at all. This is just being real about where AI is and where it's coming from. So, you know, I'm not going to downplay LLMs. They're great and all, but dude, I think they're missing the boat on the blue collar stuff. So let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Let me know if you do like this Tesla kind of content. From time to time, I'm going to do it on the channel because obviously AI is important to me. It's important to wealth building as far as being, you know, involved in it and being concentrated in it. So it's something to think about. I'm not going to say for you to buy, sell, or Tesla or hold it, but you know, let me know in the comments below what you guys think. And yeah, if you guys could like and subscribe, please don't unsubscribe because honestly, I still mean well. You know, I'm not trying to be political here. And yeah, anyways, take a look at my previous video if you could. And everyone, have a great day. Good luck out there.